Hey, hello everyone. Thanks for joining. Uh, let's get started today based upon course agenda. Let me open up this course curriculum. Just make it this. Yeah. So as I shared this, course curriculum perspective, we have, complete 20 working days online training module. This is okay. So you will get, entire course curriculum related, including my, LinkedIn details and all. Okay, so you can walk through this, whether this is suitable or not from your perspective. And then what we are going to learn about this, in this course agenda is basically we are more, focusing of, Azure SQL database for the SQL Server DBAs. And then we are just going to learn about, SQL basics and Azure SQL basics. In fact, Azure basics also we are going to cover. Okay, so the course highlight prospect of we are going to exploring up administration part and the migration part, business continuity, disaster recovery, and high availability, backup, restore. So all the core component, as and when we are getting, any kind of, project. Okay, so that individually you can able to sustain and do your task. Okay, so that is a more thing that we are going to cover here. Okay, so coming to the first module perspective, we are going to cover in the module one. Okay, so from the basics to uh, basics things we are going to start here. Okay, so introduction of the course, cloud computing and cloud virtualization, the deployment models. Okay, so how we are going to create our free trial subscription. So that also we are going to cover, and in fact, the basic fundamental related Azure related. Then we'll get started, creating of your Azure free trial subscription, and then we will go for a Azure overview services. So as part of Azure fundamental, okay, so Microsoft nearly providing 600 services across the platforms, all the platforms. But we are more focusing on including the certification part, whatever the course that we are going to cover. It is more related to DP 300, which is including for administration part as well as migration as well. That is the core thing we are going to cover. So the global infrastructure standpoint of Microsoft is maintaining across the world. There is a lot of regions in the data centers and zones. So these are the things fundamental perspective we are going to take it up, and how part of this course, how we are going to take your Azure free trial account that we are going to give and make it ready for you, and the free trial subscription prospect of what are the prerequisites that you want to take it up, and the list of the tool that we are going to learn about during this course module. And apart from the GUI methodology, we are going to take it up in the ARM template as well. Okay, so in fact, in the portal itself, you have in a PowerShell and a CLI method also, few of the component that we are going to deploy. So this is all about basic fundamental related we are going to get. Then Post that we have, from module 3 onwards, your Azure SQL database related stuff, it is going to start completely. If you can understand this, ensuring the Azure virtual machines for the Azure SQL. See, we have on-premises hand, how we are going to tackle this entire your, workloads or the database servers and all similar kind of approach. So this course curriculum is completely, it is known to unknown things we are going to know towards the known to unknown things that we are going to learn here. So here in this one, we are going to learn about when you have business use case, like if you have existing licensing with you. So within the template, we can able to leverage SQL application as the VM, so that we can able to utilize. Apart from that, if you have existing Microsoft licensing SQL concept, only you can deploy the VM and install it. So on that prospect of we have multiple business use cases, so that we are going to use Azure VM pricing model, cost management, stating up updated pricing charges and all we are going to cover in this module basically, and including the backup recovery solution. So you have managed service prospect of Microsoft is going to take in care, but if you are in an infrastructure as a service, so what is thing that we are going to do, that you're going to focus on this module 3. And apart from that, what is the best practice that we are going to cover in this one, that also we are going to implement. And the lab setup, once this module end of the module, what exactly you are going to give the output information is going to cover. And the module 4 is basically you are going to learn about the storage concept as well. See, we are just going to learn about Azure SQL, but part of any migration that you want to store your data, so storage is a crucial part in a cloud landscape. So that also with respect to Azure SQL, how much extent we are going to cover, that all based upon real time use case scenario, we have included this entire course curriculum that we are going to cover. And module 5 is basically you know we can say this networking concept as well. So as and when you are working into the Azure SQL, so providing of the firewall whitelisting and vnet subnet, so all those things we are going to basic related stuff we are going to touch upon. Otherwise we cannot able to completely fulfill full-fledged course that is not going to deliver. These are the basic fundamental related stuff which is cloud. If you are going to work on the cloud, you should have to know the basic things at least, so that it is easy to digest the complete end-to-end course related stuff. Okay, so apart from that, we have module 6, the security prospect of we are going to learn all Windows authentication, SQL authentication, so Azure SQL firewall concept, high availability, and compatibility issues. These are the things that we are going to cover in module 6. And we do have a lot of best practices and lab scenarios as well. And then module 7 is connectivity part, deployment part, security part, latest cloud innovations, what is the Microsoft has launched recently, that also we are going to cover. And module 8, the service TS and the elasticity and the cost optimization with respect to GTU, VCO, and when we are going to use the vCore model and DTU model and service principal prospect of how we are going to connect, that we are going to cover. 9.1 is data resilience, and completely you are going to work on the backup restore concept. So this is going to help us to use backup strategies, backup implementation, backup configuration, and refreshment of the backups from the production to non-prod. So geo replication, failure and failback activity, this is we can able to do. And model 10 is basically migration of the HADR component we are going to use with respect to Azure Migrate, SSMS, DMA, DMS, Azure Data Studio. What are the tools that we are going to utilize, that we are going to use to use module 10. And then we have monitoring as well, and we do have architecture. Let's say you are more than 10 plus years of experience. If you are going to working in a cloud landscape, how it is going to feasible, and how it is going to work to make the your environment to the architecture prospect of. So that is the most of last workload that we are going to do basically. So what I'm going to do now, okay, so I'm just going to exploring of the basic related, this is all about the course curriculum related stuff. Okay, so the thing is that you just need to go and verify your Azure SQL database prospect of we are going to discuss now. Okay, so myself, Bhimana Kamara, you can call me B. Okay, so I have uh, just 1 minute. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just, working last 16 years as a database administrator lead, as a consultant, and also I'm working as an architect. Okay, so To be honest, I'm working as a cloud landscape, Azure, AWS, and GCP last 5+ years of experience. Okay, so this is all about my profile. You can catch into the LinkedIn profile to in detail information about myself, and these are the certifications that I did. The database prospector. Okay, so coming to this, cloud landscape, Microsoft is, sorry, Microsoft is, across the world there would be, 160 active Azure data centers in the 60 regions. Okay, so it is going to, extend it. Okay, so a couple of regions it is in pipeline. Coming to the India, we have in Central India, South India, West India. Okay, Mumbai, Noida, I think Chennai is, we have, regions, three regions. Microsoft data centers is launching. Okay, so that is, infrastructure standpoint of. So towards, since the lot of data centers is going to occupying, across the world, lots of the customers is going to, to move to the on-premises to cloud landscape. Okay, so basically, if you can compare other cloud technologies perspective, we have AWS, Azure, and GCP. Okay, so AWS is its market leader currently, but Azure is in a second. Second position. Okay, and even Google Cloud itself, which is going to taken third place. Okay, so towards it is going to business occupations standpoint of, it is going to take in vital role currently. But among this, three cloud public cloud vendor. Okay, so whatever you want to interest, you can learn it. But if you are familiar to learn database technology, Azure is the best suit comparing to AWS in Google Cloud. So SQL perspective, there is no that much of extensible services. Okay, but it's there. But with respect to backup solution and business continue HADR, which we cannot able to expect from this AWS and the Google. Okay, but we have a lot of scope, Azure end. So if you can go, there is a cloud models. If you can see, there would be a public cloud, private cloud, community cloud, and the hybrid cloud. So this terminology across this cloud one that is common. Okay, so if we can take this, public cloud, it's a kind of accessible of everyone who is accessible everywhere. Let's say the public park. Okay, so if you are in belongs to that area, you are authorized to go and utilize public park and all. Okay, so everybody can able to access. We have own privacy as well. Okay, coming to the private cloud, if your own house, you are maintaining some garden, small a park within your home, that is isolated. You are going to utilize your own property. Okay, so nobody else is going to use that property and that area, right? So that is in a private cloud kind of thing. And if you can go for the community cloud, it's basically, if you community cloud prospect of, if you can take the banking sector for example. Okay, if you have the HDFC debit card, you can withdraw anywhere in the India. Okay, so or abroad also, because of. Okay, so the complete banking, all banks is go collaborated, and they're make as a community, and they define certain sort of rules. And then they're just moving to follow some sort of rules and all, so that you are utilizing that community. So it means there is some rules and regulation to follow in the community. Accordingly, you can pursue your services. The same thing, if you can healthcare sector. Okay, so that also the same thing. And the hybrid clause is basically, let's say your workloads, some of the workloads are running on premises, and some of workloads is running cloud landscape. Okay, so maybe you are running some of your workloads into the AWS, and some of workloads are on GCP and in Azure. So running of your workloads between the cloud or on-premises to cloud, we will call it as an hybrid, environment. Okay, so we have in a service model. This is basically infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Okay, so we have all together this service model in the models we can expect. So then among this, why should we go for Azure? Basically because of past capabilities comparing to Azure. None of these service providers is services providers is not going to give that much of past capabilities. Okay, what I mean to say, with respect to networking, database, application, past capabilities is very higher rank comparing to other thing. Okay, so .NET compatibility, and also you have hybrid solution, seamless cloud connectivity. You mean to say that you don't need to move all entire your infrastructure. You just partly you can move, and once it is everything is done, valid that working as expected, then you can start your workload to move in a cloud landscape. Okay, and also they're going to give enterprise agreement. What does this mean is basically if you have existing license with you, you can leverage that licensing factor in the cloud. Okay, so that's what Microsoft is encouraging to existing customer. Hey boss, if you have you are licensing with a Microsoft product, just let's leverage that enterprise agreement to the cloud landscape also, with 50 to 60% of your cost is going to reduce. Okay, so that feasibility is not there. Let's say the example is if you have SQL license, SQL Server 2016 licensing with you, you can directly utilize in the cloud landscape in the Azure, whereas you cannot able to use GCP and the AWS. Recently AWS is also given that flexibility, but earlier it is not there. Slowly they are also going to that flexibility in the cloud landscape. Okay, so integrated environment, choosing the right cloud vendor and learning cloud. Okay, comparing to other cloud vendor, we can able to learn easily a lot of forums, documentation, videos. We will get more information from the Microsoft, including the support perspective, right? So this is all about that I want to tell. Okay, so as I said just before, we talked about infrastructure as a service and platform as a service and the software as a service. Okay, so this is our on-premises. You will go into all layers. Okay, so in a cloud landscape or on-premises, okay, it's a way somewhat difference. Okay, this is our traditional method that we are going to do on-premises. Okay, but when you go for the cloud landscape, we have infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. If you can see in the infrastructure as a service, the cloud vendor or cloud public cloud provider is going to provide networking, storage services, virtualization. On top of it, you can able to use your own OS, interested OS like a Linux, Windows, Ubuntu. So whatever you want to do, you can do, including the application runtime data. These are the key factors that you need to take care of everything. But when you go for the platform as a service, among these 9 layers, completely 7 layers it is going to provide. Okay, so what does this mean? Like patching your environment, making of your backup, everything it is going to taken care. So what you are going to do in the platform as a service is basically you are going to take care of only your data. Okay, so that is the only thing you are going to take care of. Okay, rest of the thing that you are not going to take anything. But software as service with respect to SQL, we don't have that much of scope on the SaaS module. Only we are more precisely go and do our task into the infrastructure as service in the platform as a service. Okay, so I'm just going to walk through this, the migration plans related. You can go for using of the map tool that you can able to do assessment, and by using of the DMA tool, you can able to do the assessment, and how we are going to deliver this is a migration process and Okay, so as I said, Azure SQL has, with Azure Infrastructure as Service in the platform as a service that we can able to see here. Azure SQL VM, we are fully, controllable, including the OS level, and which can able to implement, availability, disaster recovery, and you do have, up to 64 terabytes to 500 terabyte that you can able to utilize, and the licensing factor you can use this licensing over here that you can able to leverage. Okay, and also if you can see this Azure SQL pass model, we will have some control, but OS related you don't have. Okay, so and you do have some licensing included, but licensing include is not available. But when you go for the managed instance, you have licensing hybrid benefit we can able to take it up. Okay, so this is all about database related stuff. Okay, so what I want to tell is, in a past model prospect of platform as a service, we're more precisely going to this singleton elastic pool managed instance. Okay, so the SQL server on VM or SQL server on Azure VM that is come into the scope of into infrastructure as a service. Okay, so why we should go for this in all the managed instance and the Azure SQL related stuff. Basically we just need to focus on CLR dependency, Azure SQL agent, restoring policy. This is which is going to support compatibility prospect of good. Okay, so all right. Okay. So and also we're going to focus on the migration process as well. That also we're going to focusing here. Okay. So and the connectivity prospect of how we're going to connect your environment, Azure SQL VM, how we're going to connect the management services, that how we are going to connect. We are going to focus and do the migration process of the on-premises to cloud landscape with a different migration modules and the paths. Okay, so we can do by using of the backup restore, we can do by using of the DMS service, we can do by using of always on high availability configuration, we can do the migration log relay services and managed instance links. Okay, there is a lot of things that we are going to do, but real-time perspective, we are going to cover all the methodologies for the migration perspective. So if you have any questions, so please let me know so that we can, move forward to deployment process. All right. So if you can see this, completely, this is my, subscription, okay, which we are going to take. Okay, so where I can see this, subscription related information, how we are going to take the subscription, that we are going to discuss in details with the free trial subscription part of this um, my part of this course. So how effectively we are going to utilize that we can able to see. This is my Azure subscription. We can where you can able to use, and this is my account information that I can able to see. Towards we have the information that we can able to tackle to settings of your desktop of this environment. This is a notification bar where we can able to see the notification bar related stuff. Okay, so and here the PowerShell and the CL methodology also we can able to deploy your environment. All right. So now what I'm going to do, if the left side panel, all the service that we can able to see, here is my Azure services that I can able to see here, and analytics, compute and all, but we are morely precise to focus on database related stuff. Okay, in the database also Azure SQL database and managed instance, virtual machines, databases. This part we are going to cover. Okay, so to get complete fully we are going to do all the aspect of Azure SQL part, and uh, partly, we are going to cover, as I said, there is a dedicated modules for, storage, virtual machines, and, virtual networks, that also we are going to cover. And we can good to go and, use your complete uh, this, Azure portal. So it's look like an enterprise portal only, even if you're going to take the free trial subscription as well. Okay, so this is all about the portal related stuff. Let me deploy one of resource that we can able to easily to understand. Okay, so I'm just going to deploy the Azure SQL. Okay, so just it is very easy, straightforward. That is not that much of, complication. Okay, so we can directly create the Azure SQL database in this plan. Okay, just we have, recently launched Microsoft. Okay, to do some, trial test of, you can apply this, offer free, so which is not going to cost anything. But I am not going to do anything as such. Okay, um, and we can use for, regular and real time, how we are going to take. Likewise, you can able to create. And this is my resource group. Okay, so where you can able to create my resource group over here. Okay, so provide, cloudpix db1, this is my database, and I'm going to create the logical server instance. The database should be going to available here. So db -srv-001, this is my logical server instance name. Okay, so scrolling down, and use for, both the authentication methodologies. Let's say this selecting of your, cloud Azure admin Windows authentication ID that we are going to focus. And even if you can able to configure the SQL authentication prospect of SQL admin, okay, that we are going to create. Okay, so provide your password, okay, to connect your database by using of uh, SQL authentication. Okay, so this is what we gonna deploy here. Okay, so this is the database name and the server name that I deployed, including the authentication methodology. Just move forward this, networking part. Okay, so here you can able to see this no access, public endpoint, private endpoint you do have. If you want to take this, uh, private endpoint, okay, so you are in a network, your own network you are going to connect. Okay, so it is going to show the left side, there is cost summary as well. Okay, so how it is going to charge, what is the charge. Okay, so that we can see here. Okay, so let me show this, add endpointer, and you can use the public endpoint as well, that you can able to connect here. Okay, just move forward next option, and you'll use for the sample database, that is, adventure work related stuff. Go to this next option, review, and click on create. So this is simple, straightforward Azure SQL is configuration. But we do have a lot of things to discuss, like, business continuity, failover, high availability, backup, all these things in details, module based we are going to cover, and we're going to discuss, with the lab scenario based of, real time. Okay, this is simple and straightforward deployment of Azure SQL. And we do have SQL Server virtual machine that is comes into the scope of Azure SQL. Okay, so let me create a simple and straightforward, infrastructure as service standpoint of, I'm going to create one virtual Azure SQL virtual machine, that it is going to show you to deploy your, virtual SQL Server virtual machine here. Okay, let me take it up, SQL VM 2019, something that we are going to take, and just make this exclude. Okay, so we are not go and use that, advanced level. So if you can go and see, there's a lot of images, you can use the same images for, your practice purpose. Okay, just give your SQL authentication, whatever the login name you can give, and provide a password here. Okay, so this password for the VM login and the SQL login also we can able to use for the SQL authentication. Next words, disk related. This is completely related to OS related disk. Make this, SSD disk. This thing we are going to discuss later part in detail. The network part, okay, if you can say there is a network configuration, you can existing one you can utilize, or else if you want to use for other thing also you can able to existing one, or you can directly configure as well. This is going to work. Okay, so you can see this subnet one, and just okay, and just go to this spot and next monitoring and go to this SQL settings where we are going to use for um, SQL authentication and all, right? So I want to change something this drive configuration, or else we'll go for default things. Okay. So my prospect of I don't want to go 1 TB. This is just for the testing purpose that we are going to do some sort of things. Okay. So that we'll just take the minimal configuration. Okay. Then click on review, and it is going to create your SQL server in Azure VM. Okay, which is going to show you this entire cost information also for the VM perspective. This is all the detail that we provided just before, and click on deploy this one. Okay, so this is the two things that I'm going to deploy. And also what I'm going to do, once after this VM got deployed, we're going to deploy the managed instance as well. So the one of the most important thing when we are going to deploy the managed instance SQL Server, okay, that is going to take around 6 hours of the time. But how we can able to reduce that one, basically, if you have existing VNet, so you will is to create within the 10 to within the half an hour only. Still, it is not created for the VM related. Yeah, I got a VNet here. Okay, I'm going to add one subnet for the SQL AMI related, so that I can go deploy the SQL AMI related. SQL MI. Okay, so this is one of the prerequisite subnet that we are going to focusing. But one prerequisite that you need to focus on the service perspective, you have to take the SQL managed instance one. Okay, so this is MS SQL. Okay, but I want to take the managed SQL server instance here. Okay, okay. Yeah, delegation control that I want to focus here. Okay, it's not for SQL. Uh, SQL managed. This is the one I want to focusing. Just save this one, update here. Your subnet got created, and right away you can deploy the managed instance as well. Okay, just go to the SQL managed instance and click on create, which is going to allow to deploy. Okay, I'm just focusing on the deploying of all the three services that we talked about. Just make this one service S, which is going to give some flexibility to stop your instance. Take this resource group and provide AZ AMI -001 or SQL AMI NPRD non-prod 001. Okay, this is my instance name, and I want to go and deploy this one into the same East US region, so that the network will be going to help us go and configure to take this one to the minimum configuration that I'm focused on only for 4 cores and 32 GB. And scrolling down here, I'm just applying the configuration part. Just move forward this the SQL authentication I'm going to take at this moment, SQL admin. Okay, so I just need to provide a password which is going to satisfy the password policy. Password at the rate. Okay, this is my password that I'm going to utilize here. Okay, so and here also I'm going to utilize. Just go for the networking part. It is very crucial. Still it is not reflecting because of the network may be the different region, it seems. Okay, make the duplicate here. Okay, and go to this uh, Where this which VNet actually got deployed. Okay, East US only. Just let's wait. It should reflect basically. Just go back to the previous menu and just move forward. And still not showing. But if you are going to use this one, it is going to take around 6 hours of the time to deploy this one. If you can see the I'll be back once again. Okay. Just go to the networking part. Okay. Ready to November wave, not ready. Just remove. Okay. Let me see this new virtual network which is going to create now. Okay. Okay, so let's see this, we can deploy the same thing. Okay, so which is going to give some error password here. Okay, so what is exactly the name it is going to give, right? So ESTS. Let me move forward for the East US region. Okay, so proxy that is going to show you, and see that East US region. Okay, it's supposed to be delegate this VNet, and I want to go for the subnets. Subnet should be create SQL managed instance. Okay, I want to see this actually. Where is this location got created? East US only. Let me refresh once and try. I'll try to do deploy the SQL amino. Go to this. Else here I'll go one more time to just manage instance related stuff and make it this as and provide your resource group and use this agent SQL MI -001. Go to the East US region. Okay, so scroll up, take this East US region. I want to see this. Okay, next. Okay. So if you are going to take this, same VNet, it is going to take time. That's it. Okay, that is the only thing it is going to happen. But um, what is the issue with this one? Yeah, you can select this, admin credential one, which is going to use for your existing user for the Azure Intra ID. It's same as our what I mean on-premises Active Directory related stuff. Okay, just click on review. Okay, it is showing to 6 hours of the time to deploy completely. Okay, so that is the only drawback. But it should, if you have the existing VNet, which is going to already available, you can leverage that, which is going to close within the 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, so let me show this Azure SQL first of all. Okay, so I could see this Azure SQL database, and you can see the one which I deployed. Go to this, firewall setting, and make sure this you selected network and all, and just simply you can add your current existing public API so that you can easily to connect from your local SSMS or locals or whatever. Okay, so just go to copy this one and try to connect your database here. So it's simple and straightforward. There is no complication, and provide your password. Okay, so it this is going to connect now. Okay, simple. And I want to connect this, virtual machine as well. Just take this virtual machine and click on this virtual machine and the only the thing that you need to add the port number 14033 so that you can easily to connect with the uh, public IP, right? So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to give the 14333 port number that I'm trying to connect here. Just go to the inbound port, or else you can able to edit this one ODP, right? So you can add a port like this and give this custom, go to the MS SQL plus add here. Okay, so this is one kind of port enabling process, and just go to the overview and try to take the public IP. Okay, so where I can able to see and I can able to do the RDP, or else I'll try to connect from my local SSM as well. So this is going to work out. So password 2024, that's it. So which we can able to connect